Alright, in this video I'm going to be replacing the screen on a MacBook Pro. This is a 2012 version, although screen replacement should be pretty similar between MacBook models. This is a 2012 Pro. You see the one on the left, that's my wife's one that she broke a while ago, and the one on the right is one that I picked up for 100 Canadian dollars, which is pretty cheap. I was looking at getting a new screen, but I figured just take the screen off that one and put it on this one. I also get an SSD with the old one, whereas my wife's didn't have that. So there's other upgrades. It also has a better battery. So quite a bit of positives for $100, and we want to get the photos and stuff off the old one. So I figured this is a good way to do it. This one has a broken key. They also said the DVD drive sounds pretty bad. So I could have just put my wife's hard drive in that one, but like I said, the disk drive they said was sounding bad, so I figured I'll just do the swap now and see how this goes. Now there's 10 screws on the back, 3 of which are longer, and they're the 3 that are on the back by the hinge, and they're those 3 that I just took out. Basically, the 3 on the right at the back. The leftmost rear one is a small one, so you do need to pay attention to that, but you don't really need to think too hard about it because, like I said, they are in order and there's only 3 of them. So I just laid them out as they came out of the device. And then once those 10 screws are off, the back comes off. No problem, there's nothing else holding it in place. And that's pretty much that. Now before I do anything, I'm gonna remove the power connector, which is this little guy right here. So basically we're gonna disconnect the battery and it pulls straight up. I did break the corner off that, but it didn't affect anything. A little bit of fragile plastic. Anyway, pulls straight back. Now to disconnect the monitor portion, there's a ribbon cable right here. I'm using tweezers. Get tweezers. I didn't start with tweezers and I regretted it. I immediately went and got tweezers for how small some of these screws are. So there's just a little hinge that lifts up and then the ribbon cable pulls back out. And I think this one's for the camera on the screen, the small cable, and it just pulls straight back. And then I do need to disconnect a ribbon cable because there's cables underneath it. So that's pretty much all there is to that portion of it. And now there's 4 of these connectors, which I think are for the antenna. I'm not sure, but anyway, there's 4 of them and they have very specific lengths. I was concerned I would have to pay attention to which cable is which, but it's very obvious. You can't mess it up because they only fit in one way. So I'll pop those off, and that's really all the cables that are connected here. Not too much to it. Now there's a series of screws that hold the cables in, and those need to come off. So really, you might be able to get away with doing a little bit less than I'm doing here, but all I'm doing now is getting the cables out of the way. So I do realize that my big fat hand is in the way. So there's a screw on each side that holds a little clip in place. I take the screw all the way out. It's not necessary. You could just loosen the screw off and then that little clip will be able to pull out. You can see it right there. So I did pull it out, but I do take the screws off. So like I said, you don't have to take the screw all the way out. You could just pull the clip off. You definitely want the tweezers to put those back on. Now there's a couple of screws that hold the cables down with sort of O-ring type grommets. 2 of those little guys, just unscrew them. Now in the top right corner, there's a little piece of plastic that holds the cable down, 2 screws on it. Just unscrew that, and now I've got access on the right side to the 3 screws that are in the hinge. And for whatever reason, the hinge switches over to Torx bits. So you do need the Torx. And this little piece of plastic was in the way as well. It had a little clip on it that held the cables down. So there's 1 screw that takes that off, and I removed that, and that's pretty much it. Now, what I would say is I did this wrong getting it off. So because I have 2 MacBooks, I got a chance to try it in different ways. This is my first attempt at it. I take all the screws off on this, and I wish I did 2 of the screws on each side, and then tilt the screen to about 45 degrees, and then take off the final screw on each side. That way it's just easier to remove from the MacBook. When it's in this configuration, it's difficult to lift straight back and out. So you need to twist those hinges back, and they are difficult to twist. You almost need needle nose pliers. They're pretty strong hinges. But anyway, like I said, do 2 screws on each side, leave 1 in, and then open the screen to about 45 degrees, and then it comes off pretty easily. So as you can see, it was kind of a rough exit there. Not too concerned, this screen's broken anyway, and that's what it all looks like. So there's 4 cables on one side, 1 cable on the other side. Pretty straightforward, and like I said, it's for the camera and stuff like that. So it's for the screen and the camera. And you can see where this thing was impacted. Obviously that's metal, so it took a good impact, whatever happened to it. And as you can see, I've already got everything off the other computer. And the other benefit is I have all the extra keys and stuff now. So I might actually even get another screen, see if I can find another broken MacBook and rebuild that other computer as well. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't hate this computer. It's pretty reasonable. So as you can see, I'm putting the screen on with the screen at about a 45-degree angle. So I kind of took a lesson from the second time I did this. So you can see I'm putting in the middle screw on each of the hinges. Again, those are Torx bits. And then once I get the middle screw on, I'm gonna close the MacBook up and then put on the other 2 hinge screws. So that's my recommendation for taking off the laptop screen as well. This part, pretty straightforward. Obviously, just take the 2 screws that you've already taken out and replace them. And like I said, having the tweezers helps because I got fat fingers, not a lot of dexterity in these things. And even on these larger screws, it is helpful to put them in place with the tweezers and then screw them into place. But for the very tiny little screws, it's massively beneficial to have tweezers. I cannot emphasize this enough. Get tweezers. And once the hinge is in place, really all I'm going to do now is feng shui the cabling back in and then put all the little clips in place that hold the cabling down. I do have a little bit better view of some of these things on the reinstall than I did on the removal. Again, I film everything myself and then I can't always see what I'm filming while I'm working on it. So I put the plastic piece on the right side that has 2 screws in first, and it's holding the monitor ribbon cable down. And now I just need to feng shui these ones back into place. And for these ones, there's little grommets that are attached to the cables and they attach to the computers. So you need to put the screw through those grommets and then into this piece of plastic. So just like that. And there's the screw that I took off to remove that. I know I didn't show it very well on the removal, but that's the one screw that I had to remove. I don't even know what this thing is. It kind of seems like a speaker. It is magnetic, and that's the other thing you need to watch out. There's magnetic bits on this thing and it grabs screws. So I did spend quite a bit of time looking for some screws that were just stuck to the laptop due to magnetism. Now, ribbon cable just slides back in place, and then there's again a little hinge that drops down and secures it in place. And then there's sort of a rubbery, foamy thing that protects the ribbon cable from touching the back of the laptop. Now I'm just routing the cables back how they were, and I'll attach that ribbon cable, and then I'll use the tweezers again to attach. Again, I believe this is for the laptop camera. Doesn't really matter. This one cable clips into place. Now I'm not too familiar with this type of cable, but you need to be careful. There's a little pin in the center of these things, so you don't want to bend that over because that would be a bad day. So make sure you're coming in straight, not pushing down at an angle, and pretty straightforward. You just get them in place and then push down on the top of them, straight in, straight down, and they lock themselves in place. Again, just feng shui the cables as best you can and make sure when you open the lid, you're not going to be bending or pinching any of the cables. But if you rerouted them through all the channels that they're supposed to go through, that shouldn't be a problem, but definitely take a look at it. And then do a final inspection, make sure all the cables are down where they should be, and then I'll reattach this little battery connector right there. And then that's pretty much it. I'll put the back on, and I'm not going to screw it down just yet in case I completely biffed it up, and I'll hit that power button and see what happens. Again, this is the old drive, and I'm going to be honest with you, this old drive works up until I connect to the internet, and then it definitely does not like that. Anyway, the screen boots up, everything works, and then I do a hard drive swap almost right away because I don't know what happened when I connected to the internet, but it tried to update from an OS from 2013 and something happened. Something bad happened to the hard drive, but when I put in the other one, it worked just fine, no issues, and the laptops worked for a few days, and the screen is obviously working great. So just put those 10 screws back in. Again, all the small ones are up front and the longer ones are in the back and back right-hand side if you're looking at this screen. Very easy to do. And once those are all in, Robert's the brother of your father, as they say, and we're done this little project. So once again, pop it open with all the screws in, turn it on, and it's gonna boot straight up. Now I'm gonna have 2 more videos, one more of how to do the hard drive, and ideally I'm gonna find 2 sticks of RAM because it's only at 4 gigabytes of RAM, which is getting pretty light in this day and age. I also take the number 2, which is currently missing on this laptop, from the other one, and I reinstall it to get that old laptop back 100%. Anyway, hope this helps somebody out. Thanks for checking out my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe.